Hi there, I'm Andy Johnson. I'm excited to be working with Cora this summer on a reading intervention or a reading tutor, reading session, however you want to call it. Right now, I'm thinking about 10 lessons. Now, everything is flexible, everything is negotiable, 1 or 2 times a week, and that's depending on your schedule. All right. I don't like to be too prescriptive because we teach the student, not the program. So what I have planned could well not work, and that's fine. I've had many things not work. We always have to change if what we're doing does not meet the needs of the student. So I don't know Cora, so what I may start with may look a little bit different once I get in. And I'm thinking 15 minutes, 20 at the most for each session. They're going to be briskly paced, and I just want to tell you what we're going to do. The session 1, I'll probably just listen to Cora read, get an initial analysis so I can see her word identification rate as well as fluency. The focus of this is on reading fluency and comprehension, but we are going to work on some word identification skills as well. So this is what the daily session will start with. At the beginning of every session, I'm going to look at the amount read. So we are always going to set goals for next time. It could be pages read, it could be minutes read, could be books read. I don't know, but we're going to set some goals, and maybe I can use your help as a parent here. So they're going to set goals, and Cora's going to set goals, and it should be very attainable goals, all right? And then we'll check in and say, well, how much did you read? How many pages do you read? So I'll be showing you, not today, but you can decide how you want to keep track of either pages or minutes read. The importance of reading volume is so important, and I can send you some online books if you need. Happy to do that. What Cora reads, of course, should be interesting to her. It is okay to read books at your independent level or below. It is okay. The important thing is that Cora be immersed in print. This is what helps her make progress, being immersed in print, rather on a daily basis if possible. 10 to 15 minutes a day for 5 days to take the weekends off, but 4 or 5 days a week, 10 minutes a day will do incredible things. So that consistency is important. So we will record how much you've read and set goals for next time. Keep it simple. That will take about 2 minutes or so. And then we'll do what's called language experience. I say, Cora, tell me about something. What have you been doing? Or tell me about yourself. She will tell me 3 to 5 sentences. And as she tells me, I'll write them down so she can see the print appearing on the screen. Very much like this, and I'll use larger print. And depending on the student, I ask for a minimum 3 to 5 sentences usually, all right? And then I will have Cora read this through until she can read it fluently. So she's practicing reading using her words and her concepts. And usually it takes once or usually no more than twice before the student can read it without stumbles. This will be used for analytic phonics. Analytic phonics is letter sounds, analyzing words or things they have written. For example, there's a word here that begins with s. Can you find that word? Sentences, very good. There's a word here that ends with a d sound. Good. That's an example of analytic phonics, and we may look for word families or prefixes, suffixes, depending on where she is at. And I would anticipate this language experience approach taking, I would say around 5 minutes, 4 minutes or so. So it's not that long, is it? The second part, the fluency part, is called really silly stories. And this is exactly what they look like. And I'll show you the slideshow here, and you can see that. All right. So this is a story in 10 parts. It's just a silly story, a lot of repeated names and phrases. I'll read it through and ask Cora to time me. It was morning, Molly was outside, she heard Bopper yell, help, help, all right? And this is 30 words and 40 words. I'll have her time me to 40 words. This enables her to get a sense of the story. Then I'll ask her to read it through 3 times to the target word. That's 40 words. And I'll record her times each time. So she sees her time getting better with each time. And we'll record this on a graph. Now ideally I have a line graph that I could send you to print off, and you would record the 3 times and draw a line just like that. Some people like to use a line graph, but it's always helpful if the student does that, so the student can see, so Cora can see herself getting better with each time. All right. And the thing about these really silly stories, it's just another example of them being immersed in print, reading real sentences, reading whole, complete sentences. Then at the end of each session, the comprehension part, I have 2 online stories, and they're simple stories, and they're at a reading level that Cora can read, should be able to read, and I can adjust this. But we'll use story grammar. Stories all have characters, settings, and events. Once students begin to internalize this and look for things, they begin to read for purposeful intent, and they're able to comprehend better. So I will give them some or all of this. Here are the characters in the story. Here's where it takes place. Here are 2 events. There's one more interesting thing. Let's read to find out. All right, so they're reading to find out one of these important things. It's a simple idea, but it's effective. It develops a cognitive process. So that's about it. Of course, next time, day 2, amount read, goals, etc. We'll do this for 10 days. Again, I'd like to work with you. I'm flexible. Ideally, I'm thinking 2 days a week, but you know your schedule. You know Cora better than I do. Ideally, I would like the parent, I'd like you to be sitting in on the session. That's always good. I want you to know, though, that I've had background checks. I worked with the Catholic school last year, so I had to go through all of that stuff, all the training and whatnot. So I do have all of that. And that's important. That's important. I ask my students to do that, so I go through this process again. Anyway, I am happy to be working with Cora. I hope this works out, and I will encourage you to send me any questions, and I'd like to hook up with either a phone conversation or a Zoom before we start with Cora, but I just wanted you both to know what I have planned for this summer.